Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are you all doing? My name is Echo, and today in this video, I bring you a brand new beta for Minecraft Pocket Edition, the Bedrock version. Now this is a little bit unexpected. It is surprising because this beta is the 1.6 beta. Guys, we don't even have the full release of 1.5 yet. Now, my thinking is next week is going to be the release of Minecraft Bedrock Switch, the 21st of June 2018 to be specific. So I think 1.5 will release next week. 1.5 has turtles, turtle helmets, the conduit, and a couple more features. Anyway, in this version, we do have phantoms and another surprising item, and that is barrier blocks. Basically, it's the invisible bedrock that actually works. I also want to take the time to ask you guys, do you like the menus like this, where it's 4 big tabs, or do you prefer it where it was 3, because we had play big, achievements big, small store, and small settings? I kind of like it like this. It reminds me of Minecraft PC. So this beta is available for Android, Windows 10, and Xbox. I'm doing this on Windows 10, and if you do own an Xbox and Windows 10, I always recommend to use the beta on Windows 10 rather than Xbox. There's too many complications with joining the beta on Xbox, and it can break your worlds. Let's get into this. I will leave the official changelog down below in the description in case you guys want to check it out for yourself. But as you can see here, these are the official changes. Minecraft Beta 1.6.0.1, Xbox One, Windows 10, and Android. Phantom mobs will now spawn in the night skies if a player hasn't slept in over 3 in-game days. So that's like 30 minutes, roughly. 30 to 40 minutes. Barrier blocks, which is going to be great for the creative builder / map builders. Great for map making to limit players to certain areas of the world. Can be placed in creative mode and are invisible in survival and adventure modes. Can only be obtained using commands and do not appear in the creative inventory. Changes. Menu and inventory tabs can now be navigated using the square right, square left keys. Can now be remapped in settings. Pages can now be turned in the book and quill using controller bumpers. And this is all the bug fixes. There is tons and tons of bug fixes, which is really, really good because it means we are finally getting to the final stages of the update Aquatic, which means a full release will be coming very soon for iOS, Android, Windows 10, Xbox, and very soon Switch version, which next week, by the way, I am going to be live streaming. So let's get a play. Let's go to the beta 1.6.0.1 and let's go through all of these features. So I'm going to start off with the barrier block. This is something that a lot of Xbox One players for Minecraft have wanted for a very long time. If you're a map maker, this is going to be great for you. It means that you can block people going off to a certain place. And if you're just messing around with your friends, you can definitely troll them. So the barrier block itself literally does exactly what it says on the tin. It just blocks players from going to certain areas. You cannot go through it. You cannot jump over if it's too high. It's basically invisible bedrock. That is literally what it is. Now, when the item is in your hand, it will show you exactly where you've placed the blocks. As soon as I go out of it, it's disappeared. It's kind of invisible. Hence, it's just invisible bedrock. So I think it's going to be a great feature overall. You cannot obtain this in the creative inventory because if I go in here and I type in barrier, there is absolutely nothing there at all under the name barrier. So if you are in creative and you do want to use this, guys, you have to use commands. And I will go through that because a lot of people get confused. This barrier block is slightly different from the Java version because on Java version, the barrier block fades in and out. Like if I was to switch on Java version, it would very, very slowly fade out. And then if I grab it again, it would come back. With this one, you switch, it's gone. I feel like this is much better. It kind of makes sense to me. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to all the people who are going to be making these mazes because obviously, guys, you're going to be able to make some fun maze games with this. You're going to hate people. You're going to absolutely hate people when they use this, but it's fun. I think, like, let me show you a basic example here. It kind of looks like water will be flowing. Like it looks really strange. So we grab ourselves a water bucket here and we just pour water inside of one, two, I think it's this one. Yeah. So we just pour it inside of here. It's kind of really strange, right? It makes things look like they're floating. I mean, if you've seen this in the wild, you'd be a little bit confused. But it's going to be all done with barrier blocks. I guess you guys are going to have some exploring with it. So to obtain this, you need to use the command /give. I'm pretty sure you probably messed around with this command a lot of times. If you played Bedrock version, there's been tons of mods around for a long time, but it's /give. You can do @p, which stands for @player, and you do barrier, and as you can see, it's there. So as soon as you type in BA, it's the third one down, barrier, and you can give yourself up to 64. So if we type in 64, as you can see, it should have given me 64. You only really need one, especially if you're in creative. I think overall it's going to be a fun block. This was something that was highly requested. And like I said, today's beta is a little bit of a surprise beta, not something that we were really expecting at all from the developers. But they went ahead and introduced it anyway. So go and have some fun with the barriers. Let me know what you think about them down below in the comment section. And yes, moving on to the next feature, the Phantom. This is the monster of the night skies. This is the one that won Minecon. According to the developers, this is not an aquatic feature. Hence why there's only 2 releases for the updated aquatic for this. So I don't really know what the developers are doing. It doesn't make sense to me. The Phantom is an updated aquatic feature. It released in the updated aquatic. Makes sense. That's just how I'm going to have it. Anyway, this has been introduced, and it does not come with two of its features. We should have the Phantom Membrane. It's not there. And we should have the Slow Falling Potion. We don't have the Slow Falling Potion. Those will come at a later date. Do not know why they weren't introduced. But if we do /time set night, these things spawn every half an hour roughly. And if you don't sleep at all, they will continue to spawn. And if you're a Minecraft player like me, we don't really sleep that often. So if we place this down, they act very similar to the Java version. They seem to be a little bit quicker on this version, to be honest with you. I'm just going to spawn a couple of these in. I'm just going to grab myself a sword, a diamond sword. I'm just going to grab myself a golden apple. This will do /game mode S. They should come to attack me. And as you guys can see, they do 3 damage at one time. That's providing that you don't have any armor on. Usually, if you're a Minecraft player, by the time you're fighting these, you should have at least full iron armor. I'm going to wait for them to come down. Now, there was rumors that these would only spawn at really, really high heights. I mean, if you hit them, guys, they just run away. It takes a couple of shots to kill these guys. But they're quite nimble on this version. On the other version, they're not that nimble. But I kind of like this mob. I kind of like it on this version. I don't really like it on Java. And I really don't think this should have been the mob that won the game. I don't know why. I feel like it's too slow. It's like a World War II plane. But at least it's going to be introduced eventually. As you guys can see, he died. They're not dropping anything, as explained. There's one more here. He's coming back. Anyway, /game mode C. Before he kills me. So the monster of the night sky, there was rumors that they were meant to spawn at really high heights. That isn't the case now. These will literally spawn anywhere. They are undead mobs. So if I do /time set day, they will burn in daylight. They're like any other undead mob. They will simply just burn in daylight, okay? So if you want to be really evil for them, they will die if you mess around with them. Something else I do want to check out, though, is /game mode S. Because apparently... okay. So that's true. So if you... Where did he come from? There's 2 more of them. Okay, one's dead. He's dead. Okay, so I've just figured out the problem. Not the problem, but I've just figured out, like, the survival aspect of barrier blocks. If you're in survival and you have a barrier block, it does not show the actual barrier block itself. You still have the space here, as you can see here. The barrier blocks are still there, but it does not show this pattern around the world. So if I go to /game mode C one more time, you can see here, you can see it, you can still see it, /game mode S. It's gone. I don't know why they did that, actually. I'm guessing overall it's just because of survival maps. That's the only reason I can think of. You can't use these in survival anyway, so it doesn't really make sense. Anyway, a couple of other changes, or a change that they have done within this, is if we go to... are we in creative? Let's go to creative, /game mode C. If we go in creative, guys, they introduced the ability to go through... the menus in creative using like the 2 buttons. So if you guys have a keyboard, it's the buttons below your plus and minus keys. So if I hold up my mouse here, I'm not using it. I can actually scale. Oops. Let's get rid of this. I can actually scale through No, I keep doing it wrong. We have to go here. Oh, that's much better. If I hold this in my hand, we can scale through. I'm not using my mouse. This is just an option that they introduced. It's just something. I don't think I'm going to use it. It's just another option. But yeah, these keys here are the ones that you use to kind of go through them. And they also introduced one change to the book and quill. If you're using a controller, you can kind of scale through it pretty easily. You can also use the same buttons. It's just, you can use the bumpers. There are probably changes that you won't be using that often. I just thought we could mention them in today's video. But of course, the main things in today's video is barrier blocks and phantoms. Go and explore, go and have some fun. Expect 1.5 to release more than likely one week today or 5 days. I don't know. Whenever the Switch version releases, expect it. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.